what was accomplished in your community this summer?
I assume you're talking about the interns from the Rural Fellowship Program, and other than all the fantastic work they did to help put out social media and increase our engagement with the community for Creative District, they also worked on several other different projects that we had going in the city. Some of our downtown sound festivals. And some of the other things that we had going on. It was a really huge benefit to us, and I guess what I found interesting, or what I found probably the most beneficial for me, is that as city manager, I assumed that I was honestly, I was a little bit worried about this at first. I thought that I would have to spend a lot more time with the interns, but they were very good at going out and meeting with every city leader. I mean, they talked to everybody, chamber, county, the list goes on and on and on, and really just kind of immerse themselves in the community and in the different events we're planning to do here. So I was super impressed with that.
Why is this work important to the future of your community?
As of now, people don't stop in Sidney to stop in Sidney. They stop in Sidney because they have to stop in Sidney, whether to get gas or food. And I believe that this work is giving people a reason to visit Sidney, to see beautiful murals, to walk where legends of the West once walked. And although it's hard for me to talk about our immediate impact that our work is having, since in my eyes we're really just putting a ball on a hill and we're forging a path for it to roll down. In the future, though, I believe that Sidney is going to be a place that people want to visit.
The big thing that I helped with was recording videos for the Creative District. We recorded videos of different buildings, like the history of them and what they do today. We did this to basically help like the Creative District get a starting point with their social media, getting like just a starting point of what to do and how to do it. So once we're gone, they'll have an idea of how to keep going with it. And yeah.
This work is important to the future of our community because it helps residents feel pride in their downtown and be more invested in the future of the space because they helped create it and make it a place that they want to be with the assistance of the Rural Fellows.
How will you use what you've learned from this experience in your future?
Well, I think they brought a unique sense coming from outside of Sidney. They met with all the different community leaders and talked about the same projects that we're all working together on. And in Sidney, we're very fortunate that all our different entities work so well together. The community, the community center, the county, the tourism, the city, the chamber. But it was interesting that when they go and talk to all these different entities, they find out how these projects like Creative District specifically benefits that entity. And so it's interesting to bring that all together. Now we as a group, as what we're working on, can use that information to find out how we're communicating with each other and make that even stronger.
This experience really taught me the difference between I have to and I get to. High school for me was something that I had to do, whereas this, in working with the Rural Fellows, was something that I got to do. And the way you perceive things will affect how you interact with them. So see things in a positive light, you'll interact positively. And I think that's especially important when, going into a career in college to, have that I get to mindset rather than the I have to mindset.
I'm going to use the experience and everything that I've learned here in my future because, it's my first internship. It's my first summer working in an office, working with peers that I've never met before. And I just really loved getting to know the people, getting to know my supervisors and the people in this community. And I want to make sure that I can support them and they can support me, and I can carry that on and use that in my future career.
Sidney is an interesting community because it has a small community. So like in rural Nebraska, we have small communities, and they all need to have a way to increase their economy, and most of them do it through tourism. Last year, I had an opportunity to go to Scottsbluff and help with the tourism industry and see more of how everything is included in a small community. So this work that we did, we helped with the social media. We tried to improve the presence online, and it is through this work that we're expecting an increase in traffic within the Sidney community.
I think this work is important to the future of Sidney because, they want people here to, come to Sidney and see all the great things that they have going on here, all the fun shops, all the restaurants and everything like that, and the people. But, there's nothing to get people to come here, no draw and everything like that. The things are here, but we are playing a small role in this big part of getting people to come and see that all Sidney has to offer.
As an international student, I am fortunate enough to have seen many things. I grew up in Rwanda. The culture is different than the one here in the US. And when you're talking about the United States, even the culture as a whole is different, because if you're talking about the city and the rural community, it's going to be different. So first off, it's all about empathy and learning to let others, talk, listen, and try to improve on what you know, and maybe you might learn a thing or two. That's basically my motto, is active listening before going out and doing something. Yeah.
A big thing that I learned from the Rural Fellows was interacting with everyone. I learned that in a small town like Sidney, it may seem small and boring from the outside, but once you get to know it, there's stuff you can do. And for how small it is, there's a lot of businesses that people just started on their own. And meeting all these people, it showed me that I can have an opportunity here, doing what I want to do here, and not having to go to a big city and all.
So besides working with a broad group of students with diverse interests and skills, it also allowed me to work more closely with my fellow community leader, and I think that will really help us work together more effectively in the future.